Welcome to the Sports Host Weekly Video Update. I really want you to stick with me on this video because I want to talk to you about how as a community we can all be part of some super positive change and have some fun. And I also want to give you an update of what's going on in Australia. Over the weekend, we saw in every major city tens of thousands of people march for Black Lives Matter. The events in America shone a light across the globe on inherent racism in, I think, all society. In Australia, we had a royal commission in 1991 that was supposed to stop all black deaths in custody. But since then, 437 Indigenous people have died in custody in Australia. This is not a US issue, it is a global issue. And it's one that we all have to be part of creating long-term change. It's not something just for a week or 2 weeks to talk about. It has to change. We can't be talking, 30 years later, like 1991 or from Rodney King, and still saying it's the same. So we all got to be part of this change. And that brings us to Sports Host. What are we doing, who we are, and how do we do it? What the events have done has really made us think about what are our values and how do we live our values more? Sports Host was created because I had a deep-seated hatred for any form of racism, exclusion, bigotry, discrimination, and I couldn't stand the way that world leaders were using division to divide us anymore. And I thought, what's the one small way that I can play a part in this? And what I came up with was focusing on what unites us rather than what divides us. And that's sport. Sport is massive. And people have said to me, come on, Darren, you think you're going to change the world by just having sports fans talk online together and going to see sports together? The answer is, yeah, I do actually. I do think it's going to create change because research shows us one of the greatest ways to change bigotry, discrimination, racism, exclusion is to bring people together that otherwise wouldn't normally meet. And if you think about it, with 3.5 billion sports fans in the world, we can connect over having some fun, what we like, but it's so much more. We get to meet, people from cultures we wouldn't normally meet. We talk to each other. We share our problems. We see the humanity in each other and we come together. That's what I think we can play a role in. And for you in the Sports Host community, we're just tiny at the moment, but you should be so proud being one of the first here. You should be excited by this. And what we're going to do is we're going to live our values more and start connecting you more. So we're going to put out some questions this week that, ask about how do you want to connect online right now? Do we want to do watch parties? Do we want to have sports fans that'll take us around their city, talk to us about their sports while we're having a beer and do some Q&A. There's lots of ideas, but we're not going to build it and just give it to you. We want you, the community, to be part of it because that's part of our values as well. So we're going to put out some questions, and even if we get one person join us, that means that we've already got a community going. It's not just us giving you something and putting it out there. It's you being part of it, but we really hope more than one person comes online and helps us build this together. And then we'll grow from where we are. And there's a famous Australian song from Small Things, Big Things Grow. And that's what a way I want to think about this one. Let's start in our little community now and let's keep growing this and growing this and growing this. Let's meet people from all over the world, from all different cultures, from all different states, even across the road that you've probably never even met before, and go to sport and share times with and share online with. That's what the Sports Host community will do. I'm so proud you're part of it at the beginning. I'm so glad that you're here. Please join us. Let's keep this going and let's change the world for the long term. Thanks very much.